What is going on, my broskiis? My name is Toadskii, back again, here to bring you guys yet another One Piece Treasure Cruise video, and today we're here with some Pirate Rumble action. Today we're using a character that you probably wouldn't use that often in Rumble, and I'm very interested to see how this character is able to perform, and that character is going to be Jewelry BONNEY. So Jewelry BONNEY being a super int character, of course her passive is based around the int characters. So her passive at max level here, your int teammates get level 5 attack, and it also applies the effect of level 3 defense down to all enemies, and this passive is active all the time. It's not time gated or anything. So the fact that you can have a passive that always gives you level 5 attack and always minuses level 3 defense off of the enemy, like in my head I feel like this almost just feels like a level 5 attack up just for free, but it's really good because it enables all of your characters to do more damage towards the enemy, which is awesome. Now this is going to be partnered up with another character which we'll talk about in just a moment, but the special ability of BONNEY is also relatively interesting. You see, BONNEY is actually classified as a debuffer style character, and her special is where this actually comes into fruition. So her special at max level here targets enemies in a large range for level 5 attack down for 15 seconds, so it enables you to tank more damage from the enemy, and it also lets your int characters get level 5 attack up for 15 seconds, and it targets enemies with CT 80% or more, and it delays that by 25%. So when BONNEY launches, if the enemy is about to launch their special, she can help mitigate that and help delay them so they don't launch their special against you. So it's interesting, BONNEY tries to stop the enemy from doing as much damage as she possibly can. However, I feel like her CT is a little bit high for my liking. I would have liked it if her CT was around 24, 25. I feel like that would have been way more beneficial for the character, but we are partnering her up with some other characters here. We have the Gecko Mori, whose passive is crazy, level 5 HP, level 3 defense, and CT increase level 3. The CT increase is going to be kind of important. Also, the reason why we decided to bring Lin, because for the first 40 seconds, our int characters receive level 5 CT speed up. So we have level 8 CT speed up from jump, which is great. And of course, as time progresses, she basically starts to buff herself. She does a lot of damage when she launches her special, but unfortunately her CT is relatively high, and there really aren't many good int characters that do CT increase. So the other character that's going to partner really well with BONNEY is going to be the Halloween Law, because Halloween Law has a great passive level 8 speed to our int characters, but it also gives all enemies level 1 defense down, meaning as soon as we enter the fight, the enemy loses level 4 defense. So just like really good, right? It means we're going to be doing a lot of damage against them. Also, I was worried about defensive wise and in terms of how much damage we're going to be dealing, so we're running the PvP Jozu, who gives level 5 speed, and for the first 40 seconds we get level 5 defense up and guard up level 5, and he does a pretty good fixed damage dealing as well. We also have Enel on the bench, so once one character gets knocked out, he'll come in. He has speed, HP, and defense up, and we've got Whitebit on the bench as well. There was another team I was trying out that was a little bit more offensively based. If things don't go well, we might do that towards the end of the video, and we'll run the offensive team just to see how it kind of goes, but I'm very interested to see how we're able to perform here with BONNEY on Pirate Rumble. Our first opponent is going to be against Lucky Vibration 99, and this team looks very scary. The one thing I am very worried about is Wano Law, because Wano Law debuffs, I think it's powerhouse and driven characters, so that's obviously going to be a bad thing. Enel and Vivi and the Toy Soldier debuff slashes, so Law's going to be hit pretty hard here. Just in general, this is a really scary team, and typically the Mono Psi team will typically, as I say, beat the Mono Int team. That's usually how things go here. So I'm not expecting to get the win, but I'm just very curious to see how we're able to perform here. Are we going to lack damage? Are they just going to outpace us? They already have a significant CT increase, and their Wano Law giving the CT decrease down to us. We're already -3 CT, and we were supposed to be +8. That just shows how ridiculous the CT reduction is going to be. Of course, I think some of the CT reduction is specifically for Law. They're already launching specials here. We just look at the passive levels comparatively, like in terms of our attack, our HP, our speed. Just everything is much lower than them. They're able to launch their specials way faster than us, so this is looking kind of scary right now. We do have our BONNEY here, which is going to reduce their attack, give us an attack buff, and it does delay their CTs a little bit, so they don't actually launch their specials. This is actually going really well. Actually, who does he target with the, wow, okay, so we've got the Roger and all of that down with the half stats, which is great. Law was able to launch, which does actually stop the Law from attacking us. We do get a lot of debuffs here from Roger, which is never good, and unfortunately, Roger just targeted our whole team for those debuffs. That's really bad. We do have our Jozu ready to go here, but this is going to do a lot of damage from Kizaru. He does hit relatively hard. Big Mom is actually able to launch. That is ridiculous. Unfortunately, she didn't target that many characters. That's actually really bad. and then Wino Lord does take out the Big Mom. When NL comes in though, he will give us an HP, a speed, and a defensive increase, so that's actually kind of nice. So we love to see that. So all of those nice buffs there. So it makes us a little bit more tanky, but our characters have such low HP right now. Who's he targeting? Mori does just barely stayed alive. If Mori's... Oh, Bonnie's able to go again. That's ridiculous. Wow. Okay, so it stopped NL from launching his special. Unfortunately, Lord did go down. This is actually a lot closer than I was expecting. If we can get Whitebeard to launch, that would be really good. But the thing is, they actually have a lot of HP still. Like, I'm not really feeling this one. Now, this looks kind of bad right now. Are we good if we get Mori to launch? Unfortunately, he's going to die here. Yeah, that kind of sucks. We do get Whitebeard, actually. He might launch. I think Roger's going to go. Yeah, this is going to be bad. I think we just lose here. Okay, Bonnie somehow still staying alive. You love to see that. This is going to hurt. And there we go. So we've only got Whitebeard left. I think Kizaru's ready to launch. No, he's not ready to launch. Ah, there we go. They just had the too much speed there. Yeah, so that was pretty much what I expected was going to happen. But interesting that we did last as long as we actually did. If we had a character such as versus Whitebeard, you know, the Whitebeard versus Shanks character, or we had the new Marco, it may have been a bit different. But either way, that was pretty interesting to see how it would go against the Mono Psi team. But of course, if you are running an int team, they usually have Powerhouse and Driven characters. Not a good fit against the Mono Psi team with Law, and don't bring slashes, of course, because of the NL and the VV, oh, not the VV Rebecca, but just the Rebecca Toy Soldier. Usually isn't a good fit. So this is going to be a basic slasher team. You can see there are a couple pigs, which obviously that's fine, but there's no Wano Law here. Wano Law you definitely want to avoid at all costs, but this is just a regular defensive slasher team that we've seen many times before. So let's jump in. Let's see how we go against Roger, Odin, Dofi, and also Kizaru. This is a pretty typical team that you would see, and I'm feeling relatively good, but the thing about these slashers that is a bit of a problem is that they typically have very good CT increases. So that's going to be a bit of a problem, but they don't have a lot of defense. You know, Dofi does provide a lot of defense to his teams, but because we have just the free -4 defense, actually, that's going to be quite nice. The one thing I am kind of worried about, though, is that sometimes these pigs will tank attacks that normally the specials would target the actual enemies, but you know, having the pigs on the team is actually a really good idea. Sometimes they can tank those normal attacks, which can be the difference between winning and losing there. Dofi, he actually does a decent chunk of damage there. Odin's probably going to hurt, or he doesn't actually launch. Roger did, though, so Odin has to go down right now. That's going to be a bit of a problem, because next time he cycles around, he's going to hurt very badly. So we do a lot of good damage there. Very nice. How much is Odin's actually special binded, but it doesn't really matter at this point, I don't think. We are lowering their attack. Their attack is already significantly higher anyway, so that's probably not going to be that big of a deal. The fixed damage is kind of nice. We're just progressively taking down these pigs that keep coming in, so that's really not too bad. The Kizaru just keeps cycling his special. We do have the Big Mom special. Hopefully she can target a bit more than last time. She does, actually, which is good. But the Odin is about to come in, and that is about to hurt. Okay, so Bonnie's down. We will have the NL come in, which will give us some pretty good defensive capability. So I really love the NL passive that comes in. He gives us really good defense, HP, and speed. So we've actually got really good speed right now. Mori's going to come in and lower their stats, which is good, halve their stats. And there's only 3 of them left, so we're looking relatively good right now. Only a couple left, Odin and the Dofi. Dofi's down, and then the Odin is special binded, and that is going to be game. So NL is going to get the win. He does. 4,300 is pretty good from NL there. You love to see that. So there we go. You know, taking on just the Mono Slasher team. Pretty basic stuff, and it's awesome to see Bonnie, you know, lowering the enemy's attack so they don't do much more against us, as well as increasing our attack so that when we do launch our specials, we do hit them a little bit harder, which is awesome to see. And it has the potential to delay those enemies too. Pretty cool. So this team is going to be a little bit different. This time we have taken out the Whitebeard and the NL. Whitebeard usually is a safety net, and then NL, who when he comes in is able to provide good defensive abilities. This time around we're going to put the Halloween Shanks on the team instead, just to give us a huge damage push. Obviously when he does launch his special, he can potentially action bind the enemies too, which is going to be huge. So I'm very interested to see how this one works out. Hopefully it does work out okay. Let's get into the final match of the video. Alright, we had to go ahead and take on the quick team, and I'm not really thinking this is going to be a good idea. This is probably where I would have preferred to have the more defensive style team, But screw it. Let's just see what happens versus the quick team. You know, we took on the slasher team. We took on a mono side team. You saw how that performed. Let's see how a full offensive int team. Well, I wouldn't say it's fully offense. You know, Big Mom is a bit of an iffy unit. As I said, the only reason why Big Mom is even here is because of CT increase. Potentially at this point, we could have probably replaced Big Mom with a more defensive style unit. That actually probably would have worked a bit better. We could have put NL instead of Big Mom to have some more defensive stuff. That could have maybe worked. But I'm very, very interested to see. You can see just with normal attacks, we're already losing so much HP. I am scared, dude. Level 21 attack is no freaking joke. Unfortunately, we just missed out on the Shanks launching. This is gonna hurt. It already KO'd BONNEY and Moria. Are you kidding me? Oh my god. Okay, yeah. So basically, yeah, look, you don't challenge this team with the int team, especially not with the way that I've structured it. No, that's a bad idea. Alright, we're gonna try again because that team, that was way too quick. I've now put NL on the team to give us a little bit more defensive capabilities. I hope we're able to like tank an attack and actually start doing damage to the enemy because that was absolutely abhorrent. We don't want to see that ever again. This time around though, we should have reasonably good defenses, I think. What do we got? Level 10 and level 6 defense. Would have hoped it would have been a little bit higher. You know, level 13 on some of them, level 6 defense. Yeah, this is okay. I mean, there's a little bit of defense down on the enemy. So if we are able to launch special, that's obviously going to be good. But the fact that, you know, Magellan has CT increase, you know, the fact that Shiryu has C2 increase. I mean, he doesn't have CT increase on with Shiryu this time. He does have Tezora, which is obviously a big problem. This is going to hurt 30% plus damage. That hurts. Kaido's going to launch. We're dead. Yikes, man. At least Moria's going to hit. I mean, that's something. At least we can halve the stats of some of them. We do have Halloween Shanks as well. Halloween Shanks is going to do a lot of damage with his special. He did stay alive, actually, which is kind of nice. We actually did get the action button. That's actually kind of nice. Ooh, who did we KO? We took out the Magellan. Ooh, who did we take out there? We took out the Akainu. Well, this is going to hurt, though. Okay. But like, there's literally nothing we can do. They're just going to get their special back because they've already got Tezora, which has CT increase naturally. That always stays up. I mean, honestly, I'm kind of happy that we at least stayed on for as long as we did. But at this point, there is, like, nothing we can do. Kaido did go down eventually. This is going to hurt. Jozu is still alive somehow. And then Moria comes in. Dude, oh my god, if Tezora went down there. If Tezora went down. There we go. Oh, damn. Hold up. Yes. Oh my god. I don't think we're going to make it. It's like so close. Oh my god. Yes. No shot, dude. No freaking shot. Wow. I mean, probably not the most ideal thing. If he had the PvP Shiryu instead of Tezora, we would not have won that game for sure. PvP Shiryu just does way too much damage in comparison to Tezora. But damn, okay, that's a nice way to end the video. So with all that being said, guys, I really hope you guys have enjoyed the video. Utilizing the BONNEY in PvP was a bunch of fun. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this one, and if you guys did enjoy it, make sure to go ahead and leave a like. And if you want to stay up to date with all of the content that I post on my channel, including more One Piece Treasure Cruise content, make sure to hit the subscribe button down below. But other than that, guys, I will see you guys within the next video.